Okay guys, I just came out from Proton's Center of Excellence. They gave us a media preview of the new X70, Proton X70. So from now onwards, all Proton cars will slowly change to alphanumeric naming. That means it will be a rationalization of their product lineup. Now, why do they stop calling it, the likes of Satria or Persona or Waja or Wira and all that? Is because Geely wants Proton, or let's say both of them wants to think global. Okay, Wira might be called Hero in Bahasa Malaysia, but it means very little to the global market. Okay, there's no meaning to it. So they're gonna rationalize all this. It's gonna start from this product as their flagship product. Okay, now I have to be honest, I did not really do a lot of scouring, digging about this new SUV and all that. Till today I have two things that shocked me. First thing is how amazingly capable Geely is. Secondly, how ambitious this product is, because when they showed the car, I was like, yeah, it's good looking, it's modest. There is a lot of very nice design details. Say for example, the outline of the grille was inspired by those bows, Orang Asli bows that Orang Asli uses, and then some traditional Malay architecture. They call it the infinite weave. Is being used in the grille's design and also inside the car as well. So that is one of the important concepts that they apply in. Now, what I also notice is the level of fit and finish and build quality that this car has. It is outright a European premium car level kind of quality. It just matches the fit and finish of premium cars. So it's scary. The whole dashboard is soft touch material. The door cards, right? There are no sharp edges. Everything inside the car is so solid. The armrest, the rear armrest, all these things are just unbelievable. The panels, the panel gaps and all that is just, when I look at the car, I'm like, oh my god, this is expensive, right? These are costly stuffs. The shapes that they mold on the doors and all that is just wow. And then I opened the rear boot, and then you have the tonneau cover. The tonneau cover, they did it even better than Volvo. When you take out the tonneau cover, there is normally when the tonneau cover, right, you take out, you have to find some place to put it. The tonneau cover can be mounted towards the outer edges of the boot. Say for example, you open the boot like that, right? Tonneau cover is inside. You can remove it when you need to use the full length of the interior. You can place it near the lip of the entrance, and then you can pull the tonneau cover up and hold it to hold your loose stuffs inside. Very clever. Then the USB ports. Now normally a car like this XC90, you have two USB ports. That's it. Inside the armrest, that's it. The Proton X70, right? There is one USB port on the side tunnel. There is a phone holder for the driver on the side tunnel. There is a phone holder for the passenger on the other side. So it has a USB ports there, one for driver, one for the passenger, and then there's one USB port inside the center armrest. There are two USB ports below the rear aircon vents, and there's one more USB port behind the rear view mirror. You'll be like, why do I need a USB port behind the rear view mirror? You know why? It is there so that when you install a dash cam, you do not need to hardwire the cable. That means you do not need the accessory shop to pry open your roof liner, your A-pillars, to pull the cable down to the fuse box and plug it in. You do not need that. You just need to mount your DVR, plug in the USB port as a power source. These are attention to detail. These sort of attention to detail is just mind-boggling in this little stuff. And of course, we've seen the demos from Tun Dr. Mahathir's visit to China, where the infotainment system was able to operate, the panoramic roof, the air conditioning, and all this with voice. What Proton has done is that they have localize the voice command as well. You can speak Malaysian English. So I don't know how far they can go. I don't know whether they can say things like open the roof lah, and then it will open. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm not sure. So, but the intonation, the accent, they say they have changed it to suit Malaysian English. I mean, Malaysians, we have a hard time every time we try to operate the car, you know. Say for example now my air conditioning is 23 degrees, so I press this, I have to say things like set temperature.
Music and radio.
Sorry.
Music search. What?
Wait. Set temperature to 22 degrees.
Please repeat.
Okay, too many things happening at once. Sorry, there's a car turning up.
Sorry, still no match. You can say, for example, the name of a station, frequency, or the name of an artist or song title.
Cancel.
Cancel.
Basically, okay. It would have been easier if all the other cars didn't turn up and then it launches this proximity and all that. But nevertheless, something like this, I need to speak proper English. Say for example, set temperature 22 degrees.
Temperature set to 22 degrees.
Right? I have to speak properly, but they say in the car you do not need to. What else? There that I notice, of course you will have GPS and all that. The leather seats in the car, the door cards and all this, Napa leather, Napa. They put in Napa leather in a Proton. Can you imagine that? So the whole thing looks like something out of Range Rover. There comes my worry. I was like, gosh, as I was looking around the car, right, this is very, very costly to build. This car will be very expensive to build, because what I'm seeing here, you know, everything in my mind, because maybe I understand car manufacturing, I add up the cost every time I spot something, right? And then I think about the volume that Proton will be able to produce. Then I think about all this, I'm like, this car, to achieve this, how much are you gonna sell it? 180,000 or 220,000? Because it does look that way, or more, or even more, you know. I can assure you this car costs more to build than say a BMW X1 or a Mercedes GLA, because the interior is just a different level of fit and finish. So I was like, my God. And then they pop open the bonnet hood, and then my jaw dropped. You know why? When they pop open the bonnet, the engine bay, the entire engine bay is covered exactly like how Lexus would do their expensive cars. They don't even cover their IS or their NX, you know, they don't even do that. But wow, the entire engine bay is covered. The engine block is there with a very nicely designed cover on the engine block. So you have one nice plastic piece with an opening for refueling your wiper fluid, with an opening for your battery and things like that. It's just premium. The car just looks premium, very, very premium. So yeah, I am astounded. Unfortunately, we're not allowed to take picture or take videos. So what Proton is planning now is that they will bring the car to 7 cities around Malaysia to invite those who had placed their bookings earlier on, special customers, to go and view the car, to experience what we just experienced just now. All right. So the cities will be, I believe, if I'm not wrong, Penang, Ipoh, and KL, Kuantan, JB, Kuching, Kota Kinabalu. 7 cities. You're gonna go around that, and I think this is a solid product. They even had some pretty decent tires, Hankooks, right? Not the really low end tires. It's not. So yeah, there's a full spec version. What I heard is that in order to not have the price shot up too high, the top spec version is actually a 2-wheel drive version with full features, just like how Honda planned the CR-V. Okay, the highest spec is actually 2-wheel drive, And then the mid-spec would be 4-wheel drive. You have an option of 4-wheel drive on the mid-spec. And then I don't know how many specs they have prepared, but basically that's what we saw during the demo. There are 2 cars over there. One car without panoramic roof, without the adaptive cruise control. That one has 4-wheel drive system, and then the one with all these creature comforts in, that one only has 2-wheel drive. And what do you say? What would you say would be a very good selling price? Now what I see just now, par on par. I don't think any SUV within the price point of 200,000 is as well built as that, as in terms of its interior. Yes, you all know that I always praise Mazda, right, for their interior and all that. It's beautiful, it's well built, but it's only for what we have seen earlier on in the mid-size segment. This bugger is, to me, the design is not as pretty as Mazda's, but the build, yes, it is one level up. I'm just amazed I'm seeing this. It is one level up, and coming from Proton. So this is very good to see this. It's also a bit scary as well for me. It's like, I just do not know how low they can press the price, because at the end of the day, Malaysians just look at the badge, right? But all these features have a cost attached to it. So yeah, that's my outtake. I can't praise no more. I mean, to me, the exterior design, yeah, it's not as pretty as the CX-5. I have to say that it's not as beautiful as the CX-5, but it is a good-looking SUV. It is a very good-looking. I think it's better looking than the Tiguan. It's more handsome than the Tiguan. It's more handsome than the Sportage. More handsome than the Tucson. Yeah, the likes of it. Yeah. Maybe even the CR-V, but that's an acquired. CR-V just has its own look, huh? CR-V is very big. Now, the size of the car. The size of this Proton X70 is closer to a CX-5 than to a CR-V. So there you know what's the size of the car. What else do I need to tell you all? 18-inch rims, okay, sport rims, rather good looking 18-inch rims. What else have I said? The low spec, I noticed the in-car lighting, the cabin lights are not LED. It's the old yellow type, I don't know, you call that halogen or don't know what, but it heats up the old ones, the cheaper ones. But then the high spec one uses LED, so they are cold to the touch. The rear seat back has a very nice angle to it, and then the headrest is just nice at where you need it, not at the back of your head, but at the back of your neck. Do you notice that? Our headrest, if it's at the back of our neck, it's actually more comfortable than at the back of our heads. So it's positioned where it's supposed to be positioned, and I love the angle. The angle that you sit behind is very nice. For my height, I'm 5'11". I have 1 palm of headroom on top of me when I sat in the car, and I have about 1 palm, straight palm. Okay, this one is a side palm again. I don't know what you call it, but for my knee to the front seats is about one palm. So it's not a vast, huge car, but it's a very, very nicely sized car. This size is just perfect for family. The boot is big enough. So that's the new Proton X70. I love it. I like what I'm seeing here. I really like it, and it's been quite a while where I get surprised by a car that was launched. All this while, as we understand, when this car maker wanted to launch something, we would have known what's coming, right? And then yeah. Okay, one thing I noticed, the doors, the front door and the rear doors, they do not open up to 90 degrees. So you see, this car is not a very, very large car. So when you have a very large car, that means you have a very large door, and then if the door doesn't open up 90 degrees for these large doors, it's still alright. Why? Because the doors are huge. But this car is just about that of a CX-5 sized, and when I open the door, right, it could maximum only go up to maybe, I don't know, 75 degrees, 75 or thereabouts. It doesn't go up to 80 over or 90 degrees. So when I look at the door, when I look at it, I thought it's not fully open yet, but actually it's already fully open. It's by no means cramped. Okay, it is by no means cramped, but I just saw, or it could have been slightly wider. It could have been. What else do I notice? I think that's about it. Oh, the bonnet has 2 struts. You know, lower end cars or any Japanese cars in this segment, you open the bonnet, you need to hold it, and then you put a stick up and to hold it, right? And then maybe premium cars, they give you one strut bar to hold it. This guy got two strut bars. The wipers, hidden wiper sprayers, is hidden. It's just basically, if Proton is here, and then how we look at these cars is always national car, and then you have the Japanese, Korean, the European mass market brands, and then you have the premium cars, right? These are the basically the 4 segmentization that we have. And this guy, in terms of build, in terms of interior, in terms of specification, it jumped right up there into the premium segment. Scary for Proton. I mean, if Proton made something like a HRV or CHR, we would have been satisfied, right? We would have been like, oh, okay, that's really good, you know. I mean, like that, Japanese cars is memang like that. No, we were used to that, okay? And then you move one grade higher, you have the likes of, in terms of fit and finish, cars like Peugeot, you know. Peugeot, their interior may look really, really nice, but in terms of absolute fit and finish, it's never the levels of the German premium brands. But this guy is. So now you guys have to differentiate between use of quality materials versus what I mentioned by fit and finish quality. Okay, if you saw a car with an expensive wood inlay, that is a high quality material being used in there. Of course, there's a limit to how high the material can be. So say for example, the Proton X70 dash inlays, it is actually a very clever lamination. The laminate layer on top of the whatever plastic or whatever that is underneath feels cold to the touch. It feels like brushed aluminium. Okay, but at least they take the effort to do this. So it's not exactly a real brushed aluminium inlay, right? It's not that, okay? So it's not like the Mazda CX-5 where you have a real brushed aluminium inlay and all that. So it's not. But the door handles and then the grab bars that integrates with the door handles, that's a very, very nice touch there. So overall, this car is I mean, it surprised me by some margin. It really did surprise me, mainly because it came from Proton or Geely for that matter. Alright, so that's all I can say for today, because all they did is they gave us 5 pictures or 6 and the preview, we are not allowed to take any photos or videos and the likes. Okay, so that's about it. Cheers guys.